Good morning, good morning, good morning,
Good morning.
and welcome to Monday with the Moors, the Partnership Podcast. I am Terrence Moore Sr.
And good morning. I am Cheryl and Stokes Moore.
Well, we bringing the whole government name this morning.
We are bring your whole self to the table.
Uh, and that's the thing, your whole self. And we kind of touched on that, bringing your whole self to the table, and that's how we are. So I'm excited about that. Oh my goodness. This is a wonderful, extraordinary Monday morning. And I tell you what,
Yes. Do you see my face? My eyebrows? I listen, y'all. My hair is in a ponytail. It's like, okay, these 7 o'clock lives. I thought we were going to record.
yeah, right. See, and I'm bringing the energy, and she wants me to calm down, but that's going to be out of character because we talked about bringing your whole self to the table.
Yes, we did talk about bringing our whole selves.
Hers is a less energetic, and I am more energetic, bringing that all here.
I have energy.
Okay, sure. Okay, dear. Well, let's talk about this. This is where the partnership really comes in. You know what? We always talk about when we're dealing with partnerships. We always talk about the other person, and we're always concerned about them. We're always concerned about her or him or whatever the case is. But partnership really begins. I'm just starting it out the gate. It starts with me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, the idea that sometimes we sometimes wonder to ourselves is, who am I? And that answer does not come easily. It does not come instantaneously. It doesn't come, it comes over time. And because finding out who you are really is a journey. And sometimes we have to pray about it. Sometimes we have to meditate about it. We're asking God. We're in meditation will allows us to really hear from God, hear from the spirit realm, hear from the things that the areas in the creation of who we really are. And we can't rush that process. A lot of times our experiences, as we talked about before, our lived experience really begins to shape that journey as to who we are. And then we sometimes have to wonder, we have to start asking ourselves, what does our heart really long for? And some of that very question also helps shape the journey of who we are and answer that question of purpose and destination. So before we begin to even consider partnership or consider relationship, we really need to start with the journey of self, the journey of me, the journey of I. And before we can even think about connecting to a partner, connecting on a relationship basis, connecting on even trying to find a soulmate. You cannot partner with a soulmate or anybody else without understanding your own soul. Right. You cannot partner with anyone else until you understand who you are. Because what you will find out, and some of you may have already experienced this, when you try to find that perfect person or that right person, you begin to look at what can they do for me? What space can they fill for me? What void that can they fill in me? And that is not their responsibility. That is not who they're supposed to be. Or I'm gonna maybe nudge somebody a little bit. If you was raised by a single parent, a single mother, a single father, you're looking for that person to fill that missing component in your life, that missing nurturer or that missing disciplinarian or that missing structure, whatever that case is. Your partner or that person in a relationship is not designed to fulfill or to solve your childhood missing stuff or your childhood trauma. That's the tip of the iceberg. I just decided just to go on it.
Yeah, you did. You took up a lot of minutes too. Like you taking up a lot of space this morning.
Because I have big
Scooty over,
energy.
honey.
I have big energy, so I
We
take
both
up
got big energy, but you don't need big
energetically
space.
and physically. Good morning. Good morning.
So I like how you let in because I think it's really important to share about partnership starts with me. And when we were at a very trying, good morning, girl, I was gonna call you Apostle, but it all works. Kingdom Sight, good morning. So when
The Richardsons.
I want to say that you're right. I was gonna say Apostle Richardson. I want to say about partnerships. That's a heavy word with a lot of content, and it really starts with the me. When we were at a crossroads in our relationship and making a decision to really like, you know what, we probably, it wasn't an outgrowing each other, we weren't understanding each other. And that part came into the me of it all because not understanding one another caused for confusion in the conversation. You're saying it, but I'm not hearing it the way you are saying it. And in that could really bring about some disruption in your destiny path in the way. I like what you said. Putting the responsibility for my joy, my happiness, and my journey here on earth on someone else. And that's true. That was the cross. That was a part of the crossfire. Should I say that? A part of the crossfire. And I know we said we'll get into a lot of things later because it's not just so much the unpacking, it's the sharing, because we're so free and liberated into who we are. Who we were then is not who we are now. And we continue to evolve.
Thank goodness.
Right. And embracing that version of the next evolution of who I am and who you are. It's not becoming who you need.
I know that's right.
Right. That's the mishap that I won't say people, I'll say for the Moors, that we were trying so hard to be relevant with one another, we became irrelevant to ourselves. Let me say that again for the people on the
that is so true.
Who is gonna play the replay? And y'all see I'm still live today? It's this part.
Oh, let me stop.
I wonder when God is gonna let us record.
It ain't part of the plan.
It was a working weekend for me, so we weren't able to do that. So I will say we were trying so hard to be relevant. And it's people pleasing, but it's deeper than that. It's not just people pleasing, it's relevance until the anger toward each other, the misunderstanding, the dissatisfaction increase. So now everything you do irritates me because I was not relevant to myself. I became and it's the same where it is a part of expectation, but relevance and expectation, those are different because it becomes codependency. I love that. So let me jump right into that. Which was that you said that was a diagnosis, a formalized diagnosis that I had. And that codependence became the kryptonite of our coupling. But it was really where I didn't know until I actually got myself some help, got some therapy, and understood, because detaching from relationships and people leaving and at different sectors, I couldn't handle that. And honestly, guys, it was a form of I just mishandled and wasn't ready for rejection. And that's not a hard word. It's not a bad thing. Ejection, rejection, no longer relevant. So we soften it by saying no longer serves me well in certain things. And I had a problem with detaching. I have attachment issues. out of fear, but not knowing myself, not being confident enough and mature. That hadn't matured in me. So obviously I came into the partnership. And again, that's a me. So just think, in a me we model, everything in me goes into what we're creating. We's come out of me's.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a whole issue of, I would always bug Terrence and then put that responsibility on
Mm-hmm.
him at a certain, several years. It's not like when I say a
And I
single,
have like no clue
no
as to
clue, because
what's your issue.
I like what someone said about detaching easy. See, that's Terrence. Me,
My cutoff game is good. And my detachment game is great.
depends on what it is.
That's true too.
I was like, Terrence, you are so mean or something. He goes, not to you.
It is true.
And so it's really tough not to see that until we grew out of chaos, confusion, that we ended up, addressing those things. So, right, the detox, but it's not just detox. It's really detoxing is just one set. Man, let's talk about the relevance of having those relationships, because one of the things that I found, those same type of relationships, until they I learned to maturely handle them, showed up in other people. Whether it was so it no longer became, oh, I'm a pastor and I'm in church, and now I'm a leader in different spaces. Now I've expanded out, and until I've learned to master how I move in certain relationships, that kept coming up and showing up. Not showing up at work, now it's showing up in boards, it's showing up in engagement,
Right.
other places. We're looking at personalities, but you really need to look at spiritual context of okay, this is showing up again. This is an important relationship that needs to be appropriated, that I'm mishandling, or being okay when people would leave a church. It's different when they resign from a job. So now I've got a hole.
Because
I've
there's
got
a
to
lot
go.
of time in a relationship
Right.
building that's
It's a lot
involved.
of time. It's
And
missing
sharing.
skills and shares and processing a person out. It's the same thing I deal in other areas. So understanding those relationship and processes, that some are sent for a particular season, some are sent. That was really hard. And it was my heart. Can I just be real?
Be real.
I cry a lot, and I embrace my compassion, my sensitivity. Um, you know, it was hard for my heart, and it was hard for me because I didn't accept and love me all the way. Right, I had unrealistic expectations of others that were the incompletes inside of me. And that's why we keep saying
and unspoken.
Unspoken and spoken, right? And it was just internally a lot. Like, and then on top of that, people don't know this. I'm an introvert. Like, what? Nah, no. I'm an introvert. We all have it in us, but I need to reprieve, rest, rejuvenate, refresh, recharge separately. I need a lot of me time. A lot of me time. Now this one right here, going live is a me time. Is a me time. He recharges off of the energy of others, and
But I don't need it.
But he doesn't need. It's not a codependence,
right? No.
And I think before it was, we used our work, our life, our responsibilities to others to really raise that awareness and reward of who we are. You use that as a band-aid, as a coping mechanism out of codependence, coping mechanisms for things in your life that are not there. We brought that not just into the marriage. That stuff, when Terrence and I really finally talked about it, was in our friendship before we said I do. Like, right. You bring a lot of stuff that you don't know. So that awareness was huge, but right. It took outside help and professional guidance and coaching and counseling for not only just for us to grow, but for one another, our own paths of counseling, coaching, therapy. And then we actually go through a segment of the marriage refresh where we do our own retreat. We
Yeah.
go through our own therapeutic, and if nothing has to be immutably wrong, and we have our own personal sector where we go to plan vision. That vision comes out of my vision, his vision. We bring it together for the we vision. What parts of my life, part of his life, that we bring together
Right.
for the commonalities to support each other in our dreams and our aspirations.
You know, I want to just kind of touch back because it's interesting that we really find out that we have a lot of introverts, and there's nothing wrong. It's like, wait a minute, how does this introvert get attracted to this extrovert? And then there are times where that I don't want to be bothered with nobody. And and I love how someone said is that I because they're introvert, it's hard difficult for them to build relationships with other people, and they don't get a chance to know them. And I know them, and that's kind of a gray area with introverts. And probably you can speak more to that than I could. But sometimes when introverts also sometimes I feel they want relationships, but they just don't know how to form them in their way.
Right.
And and sometimes it's the bum fumbling, or sometimes in their mind, excuse me, sometimes in their mind, they're thinking that they have to come out of their shell and be extrovert, which is totally out of character. When sometimes connectivity from an introvert is just as powerful as an extrovert developing relationships.
Right. Put that comment up from that. No. I want the interdependence.
Okay.
I put that up because that's me. And that's Terrence. I'm an independent. Which is a problem for people. Introverts, and Terrence is extremely extroverted. And the conflict.
Now I'm curious as to which one of you are really the independent introvert.
Stay on task
and
with
the
your
extrovert,
nosy self.
because I know this couple.
So stay on task with your nosy self.
I can probably guess.
So stay on task. So see how this works? Probably our age of ADD. But I am independent as a part of my now healthy independence of doing things, having trust issues, walking. It was the easy walk away from bad running. I can be a runner, right? Like but now I just go boldly in front of the face of conflict or conflict resolution. But in that extremely extroverted partner, I'll tell you what we dealt with. Extreme transparency in all of this, but just to really put it out there, the rejection. He was, Terrence is feeling somewhat rejected, but it was my independence. And I think because I'm also the oldest child's daughter, I'm not a child anymore, but, questionable
as being a leap year baby, she flips conveniently.
That as a daughter, there's more that comes along with responsibility, and in that, so blink for barriers, protectors, silence is safe, and those type of concepts that come with introverted thinking of independence, very solutions oriented, solutions minded, moving in a rhythm and a process. Someone who is very like, how can I help you because that brings him joy? How can I support you? Those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't working for me. So we had to, over the years.
Here I'm trying to be a help and be a good partner.
Right. But what was it? You don't know that there's a lot of rejection there. You don't know that once you are in a business partnership or you are in a working relationship or a friendship, you don't know how deep rejection goes. And it's
That's
not
so
what
true.
it's been
So
is we
true.
created it to be such a blackened shadow of life and such a sting to our soul that we don't know how to really see that in its other light, in the light of what has been deemed, and walk in that light. So for us, it was really first thing we think about is not hurting someone's feelings, or how I do believe in framework and how you frame things.
Hmm.
We would hear that all the time. It's not that it's not the truth, it's how you're saying it. And
Yeah, I had to practice that part. I had to practice my delivery.
and even in that, but when that delivery becomes stifling and then you are not true to yourself, then you've compromised, right? Because we're here to help each other. God has us all here in community to that we are learning to really work through those things, and to be
I feel
responsible.
it. Ooh,
With
I feel it. See, I have a partner right there.
I don't think it's a flaw. I don't think it's a flaw.
That depends on the
I
situation.
think what it is through just being, can I say this?
Go ahead,
I'm
because I
gonna
want to
say
hear.
this to you,
Because
and I'm
I'm
gonna say this to them. While I'm saying
because
it to you, they're listening to me say it to you.
because I want to hear this one.
And I guess just through leading people, what I've discovered are being responsible with who you are. Be responsible with that type of gift. And and sometimes you become reserved, understanding this is not for them. And it's not judgmental. The fierceness of who you are, the raw, the candidness,
Hmm.
those are treasures to the right people. But when you just cast your pearls everywhere and
Mm,
see them as pearls, when you cast your pearls to everyone, this is who that is who I am, but learning to embrace all of you. There's the introvert, the extrovert, all of you. You see yourself as one person, so you
right.
present that. But that type of delivery, of directness, candidness, there's relationships that need trust built in that they trust you, that there is love, divine love,
Yes, yes, yes.
that can handle that is ready for that receives that. So it's nurturing to them and nurturing to you to be fully in that capacity, and nurturing for them to receive what you're saying out of the pureness of the divine love, and knowing that when you have erupted or not well fleshed out, journeyed out.
Hmm.
I just made that up,
Yeah, I mean
y'all.
it. That's a new one.
Journeyed out relationships. These people haven't been with you and you just coming up there. They don't know that. So they're reacting. And then the conditioning of the relationship hadn't been there. And again, this climate change,
Hmm.
so we put ourselves in there where we are not responsible with ourselves.
And
And
that's where the
that
enabling
is
the enabling comes in, though.
right. It really is. And now you feel lesser than, you feel like I'm subjecting, I got to compromise. I'm not being, it comes in with depression, comes with emotional, now you can't eradicate your emotional
Hmm.
dwelling spaces. It's a whole situation, I guess. My disclaimer of not being a psychologist, therapist, or able to
Neither
diagnose
one of
these
us.
things. However, but my journey of codependence and looking at the strong arm of rejection, sometimes that's a reward in your life, and understanding
Man, ooh,
that
that's
that's
good.
a reward.
Rejection can
and
be a
i
reward.
and i rejected the reward, not just of safety, but things just on a match right then, or I wasn't ready, or they weren't ready for whatever we needed to draw or nurture for one
But see, that
another.
rejection will create another person in you, depending on how you take it.
Right. And now you become not only
A
the
people pleaser.
right, the helping does become enabling, and at that, because you don't want to hurt them, but you're hurting yourself. If you don't take care of yourself first, and not being afraid that that may be a relationship or a person that needs to step back. They might just walk away. But it
Now,
doesn't
see,
mean it won't come back. But that's really hard. I don't care what people say when they say, "Oh, I just trusted a lot." Who? I don't care what people, when people say to me now, I don't care what people say. I know they're the biggest, most sensitive ones to what their image, their public imaging. When you just live your life to be that way, it's okay. Now I get it. And I'm not looking at Terrence. I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at the screen because I don't want to hear it. It took me a long time to get there because of outdated practices and what I was taught.
but you know what? Outdated practices. I want you to keep that thought. See, I want to put my little piece in. I don't care what folk think. I just don't. And maybe that came out of some maturity. And this was like very young because I can't afford to take in their thoughts of me, especially when they don't know me. The only person, and I say this, and many people who know me knows this for a fact. The only person that whose opinion matters is hers. That because
And that
that
can be
them words,
that can be debatable
them
at
words,
times.
them words and them thoughts hurt.
Ooh,
It
no,
matters. It
God.
matters. It
No,
matters.
don't
No,
we talk about that today?
no, because
Ooh, that's a
I'm going to touch.
whole
I'm going to touch on
ride.
that. But the thing is, and the reason why I can say, and this is part of my cutoff game too as well, about not caring what people think is because they don't know me and they make judgment based on what they see or what they have heard, and they didn't take the time to get to know me or ask me questions. Look, you what you see is what you get. And I think that's sometimes, and this is just terminology, I think that's part of the problem that people have a problem with is that they're not used to people being straight up 100% authentic up front. They're not, many people aren't used to that.
And
So
I
they're
don't think
always
there's anything wrong with that.
and there isn't, but my thing, but I put that in as self-preservation, that when people have these things and they have these beliefs about me, hey, that's you, that ain't me. But when people start actually take the time to form a relationship with me, then then it's good, because I'm a loyal brother. Friendship, relationship, whatever the case is, I'm loyal. I'm ride or die, whatever the case is, when that friendship is formed. Now, if we just like in passing and cool, that's all you get. But
Okay.
but we cannot allow for other people's words or thoughts to form us when it's not us.
I think part of that too, that you hit on a lot that I think we could divide up and continue the conversation and sharing on that part. You know, I do think that when you talk about one of the big things, this was early on in our relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
In our marriage.
This is the old thinking part.
No, I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna share. Trying to say Terrence, you can't say that. Terrence, watch how you say that. And now he's uncomfortable
With saying
in
that.
who he is because I'm saying what you should say and how you should address it.
Mine, I just said what matters, what comes from her matter.
Right. And
matters.
So my thoughts matter. And so now I am trying to restructure and conform him to what is not comfortable. I'm bringing him into trying to conform, which is
bring me in your world,
into what's comfortable for me to tolerate, whether that's with other people, expectations, the way, not realizing when we started this journey, this is now what we are creating. And again, I go back to bringing what I knew, bringing what he knew for the person who wasn't raised with, I don't have brothers, trying to tell a male in that part, right? The first male I ever lived with in my life, outside of my dad, but man, I'm married to, living with, and what I understood, especially in the arena of church, in the arena of public
So you
imaging.
about to go to a whole.
It's really, it's the death of what it is. It's the, we had to die to so many things because we didn't understand who we were. And that's a journey of, you think people want that, but no, God really called you or who you are and your divine difference and in independence, all of it working together, that we weren't supposed to be, he wasn't supposed to be a mini me and I wasn't supposed to be a mini him. But we were supposed
I couldn't deal with another me.
We were supposed to love each other divinely in every right of who we were, independently, interdependently, and impersonally. And that was a lot of work, a lot of candid conversations, a lot of tears, a lot of, let's talk about this another time. We got to go. Why didn't you say something and why didn't you tell me? Write the manual. Somebody told us too. We've had that.
We've been told that. So yeah, that's another confirming word.
Thank you so much for your emails that we will be taking time to respond to. And thank you for joining Monday with the Moors and listening to us. Chat.
Share.
Express.
It is a beautiful thing. And we desire that you have a phenomenal and extraordinary week.
Right. And I love what you all have shared. I hope people go back and read the comments and
like, share, subscribe, even on our YouTube page.
Something about the codependence and thank you for being in this space. Thank you for sharing space with us. This is our life space. This is one sector of our life space. We love you all too. Definitely. And loving is easy. When it's not with other intentions and have no motives, then we know we're loving.
Come on. Well, let's pray us out.
We just thank you, God, for this day. Thank you for a beautiful day with beautiful people, beautiful souls.
Yes.
Beautiful intention, beautiful outcomes, beautiful entrances and beautiful exits. Beautiful, God, in every which way that you have formed, because this is a day that we get to create and to design and to dream and to manifest and to walk out the beauty of purpose, the beauty of who we are, that we are bountiful, we are blissful, we are beautiful, we accelerate, and we are fearless. Amen.
Until the next time, like, share, and if you want to send a question, TERRENCEANDCHERYL@gmail.com. That's Terrence and Cheryl @gmail.com. Like, share, replay, share with others, replay, subscribe. We love you. We out.
Yes. And remember, love you.
And we love you more.
We love you more.
Yup.
We love you.